On our last trip to Ely, Nevada, we decided that we wanted to go for a train ride. So we decided to stop by the Northern Nevada Railway to see what type of train rides they were offering. They have a museum here, and whether you are a big train fan or not, there is a ton of cool history and things to look at. And they also have a pretty sweet gift shop. You can either buy your tickets in person at the museum or you can get them online. This particular train ride is offered from May 21st to October 10th. Tickets cost $58 for adults, $50 for seniors, $28 for children from 4 to 12, and infants 4 and under are free. This ride is about 2 hours long. It starts at 7:15 p.m. and gets back at right around 9:15. And if champagne and stars aren't your thing, they have plenty of other offerings, everything from fireworks rides to Halloween and Christmas rides as well. Since we got our tickets early in the morning and the ride isn't until sunset, we had plenty of time to check out the museum and the trains as well. Obviously, if the train is out on a run, you won't be able to check it out, but we were in luck and it was in the station. The Northern Nevada Railway has done a great job of maintaining all of these cars, and walking through the cars felt like you were taking a step back in time to the heyday of train travel. After finishing up on the train, we did take a quick trip out of town to do a little bit of garnet hunting, which is another fun activity to do in Ely while we waited for our time slot to arrive. We got back to the station just in time to see the train roll in from an earlier trip. The only downside of our visit is that you are usually being pulled by a steam locomotive, but it was out of service for repairs. Instead, we ended up on a much more modern train. Once you get rolling, you can't see the engine all that much, so it didn't do anything to lessen the experience. This experience is ADA friendly, and if you need help getting in or out of the train, they do have a little hand crank elevator. And another cool thing is that all of the volunteers and employees of the Northern Nevada Railway dress up in the old-timey railroad uniforms and really embody the railway experience. Depending on what season you're visiting, we highly recommend grabbing a spot at the outdoor car. The weather was really pleasant when we went, and it seemed like about 98% of the people went with the outdoor option. Either way, be sure to bring a jacket because it does get cold at night.
Making our way through 4 major crossings.
We're going to be traveling out about 10 miles before we turn around and head back to the station. But depending on what time of year you do this experience, it can be shortened to 7 miles.
Choo-choo!
I'm not sure if V and I lucked out with our fellow passengers or if people just picked the Sunset Stars and Champagne train ride with a good time in mind. But this ride ended up feeling like more of a social hour, and we talked to a ton of cool people along the way. And that was before they even brought out the champagne. Along the way, there is a chance that you will see some wildlife. We didn't end up seeing a whole lot. We mainly saw some sheep in a field, and we saw one deer. Just in case you are wondering about the engine that is pulling us along, it is the EMD SD9. This bad boy has a 16-cylinder engine and puts out 1,750 horsepower. A short ways into the ride, one of the railway employees brought out the first round of champagne. You get 2 complimentary beverages over the course of the ride, and it can be either champagne, wine, beer, or soda. And they also have snacks available for purchase. The town of Ely started to fade off into the distance as we headed out into a wide open plain. Weather will obviously be a huge determining factor if you want to see some stars out here. We did have some clouds up in the sky, but we were hoping that they were going to move out of the way and let us see some stars. And if you can plan your trip around a new moon, you will have optimal viewing conditions.
This is really a fancy experience. I heard that these are even real gold flakes in the cup. I mean, they've spared no expense. It's really quite marvelous.
Yeah.
Please note that unlike the Great Basin Star Train, there will be no telescopes on board, but you can still bring a star app on your phone, and the Northern Nevada Railway had one more surprise for us that we will be getting to in just a second.
A refill, don't mind if I do, thank you, you're so nice.
As the sun dove over the mountain, we got to that last little surprise, and it's that they had astronomers on board. These guys were incredibly knowledgeable, and you could tell that they just loved talking about stars, and they were happy to answer any questions that you may have. We cruised the tracks for about an hour, and then the train slowly came to a stop. It was time to convert everything into nighttime star viewing mode, which means turning on all of the red lights, and they also needed to switch the engine from one side of the train over to the other side. This gave us a great chance to take in the sunset, and it's also a fantastic photo op if you want to take a picture of the engine. I have a huge recommendation if you end up doing this for yourself, and it is to make your way to the back of the train so you can see the engine reconnect, because it's pretty cool. You may be wondering what is up with the red lights. It does give it a bit of a horror movie vibe, but the main reason that they do this is because red light does not constrict your pupils. This is very useful if you're going in and out of the cars, because otherwise you would have to readjust your eyes to the darkness. Even though the engine had switched to the other side of the train, we did continue on further down the tracks for just a little bit. This gave the darkness a chance to fully take over, and this is when the astronomers kicked it into high gear. They broke out some of the brightest laser pointers that we had ever seen in our lives. The video doesn't really do it justice, but I swear these lasers were reaching all the way out to the constellations that they were pointing at. I'm not sure how crowded this particular tour usually gets, but it was nice because ours wasn't all that crowded, and it even gave us the opportunity to lay down on the bench and look up at the sky. Another pro tip that we have is to be sure to talk to some of the volunteers. They have a ton of train knowledge, and we learned a lot that night. But as they say, all good things come to an end, and eventually we ended up pulling back into the station. What do you think? Would you do the Sunset Stars and Champagne train, or would you take a different tour? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe even hit that hype button. If you have ideas for future videos, let us know down in the comments. And for all the information about the Sunset Stars and Champagne train and other awesome adventures, head on over to livethatadventure.com.